UFC 317 was seriously one of the best pay-per-views that I have ever seen. It was such an inspiring night. I mean, the whole thing was fairy tale. The entire thing was a fairy tale from start to finish. We had so many shining stars. So many shining stars the entire time, and it ended with a bang. Okay, it ended with a big bang. With a big bang, and just so much future fights to look forward to, and just so much magic to sit and think about. We got to go over every fight. We got to go over every fight. Give UFC 317 a dynamic review. This was, yeah, this was one dynamic card, might I say. First up, we had Jonata Diaz versus Alvin Hines, and this was really exciting because Alvin Hines is only 4 years into his MMA journey, and Jonata is like an extremely decorated kickboxer, just, been there, done that when it comes to martial arts, so very fun. And this fight was wild. Okay, it was wild because you really got to see what makes Alvin Hines, and it's his heart. Okay, Guzzi has got heart. Guzzi is oozing heart and soul, and he really gave it his all. He gave it his all. He gave it his all. But as the less technical striker in there, he got a little bit outdone. But it was incredible to see his heart and soul. Right, he really put himself on there, and he didn't stop believing in himself until the very end. So I'm very excited to see what happens with a little bit more refining of that technique, because he does have that heart and soul that is very difficult to teach. That's very difficult to learn how to have the I don't quit on myself type mentality. And it was very exciting. That was an exciting fight. Great pace. But Jonata was able to get the unanimous decision. Just way more technical in there. And then we get, we get some highlight moments, right? John and Bruce in blue. A little ad for you to have your name soaked in blood on the mat. Are you interested? I find that just fun. Right. And DC's drawings, we had everything. Second fight, Nico Price versus Jacoby Smith. Welterweights, right? Nico Price, the veteran, looking to play a little punch face, or, just looking to take the ball wherever it rolls, right? According to Joe, Smith was the biggest favorite in UFC history going into that fight. I didn't see the odds, though, but ouch, right? Okay. Yeah. And it was pretty quickly Jacoby on top, making it happen with some nasty elbows. And yeah, Nico did enter his zombie state, which he often is known for going into. He can definitely tread really deep waters. And it was a really, after getting dominated on the ground, it was a wild end, a little wild moment there where Nico threw a spinning back fist, didn't quite get there. And then he got rocked after his spinning back fist attempt, and he survived, though. He's a survivor. We get to round 2, and it's looking a little sleepy on both ends, okay? It was a pretty tired grapple up, right, in the first round. So much so that they're on the feet, okay? And Mark has to, he steps in the middle and goes, come on, y'all, gives them a little, but they're, standing. You know how, when they're against the fence or when they're on the ground, they're breaking people up. But I don't see that very often where they are both standing forward and, ref is chop, let's go. So that was, it was a little sleepy. Okay. But then Jacoby gets the takedown, and, eventually out of nowhere, because we get a little more Sleepville down there, he finds the choke and he gets to choking. And it's very quick that, Nico loses sight of where Jacoby's hands are at, and he's in there. Rear naked choke, and then he does something very weird, and he just keeps saying Joe Rogan. He just keeps saying Joe Rogan, 5 times. Joe's trying to have a conversation afterwards, what do you think about what's next for you, and your performance, and he's just, Joe Rogan. It was kind of scary. There's a little uncanny valley, I gotta admit. He's a strange young man, but, he grappled his way to the top of this fight. And then we had Vyacheslav Borshev versus Terrence McKinney in a lightweight fight, our third fight of the night. And this was some classic Terrence McKinney. Okay, this was some Terrence McKinney. He really likes to make it quick. Okay, he's a quick start, quick finish type guy, and that's exactly what happened. It's within seconds, just don't blink type stuff. I blinked, and I look up and we're on the ground, okay? And McKinney has trapped Borshev, okay, after he caught his kick. So he catches his kick, and he says, we're going down to the ground, baby, today. And he's immediately trapped in a choke, okay? It was one of those anaconda, darce, guillotine transitions. It was scary, okay? And then Slava Claus is kicking. He's kicking and screaming. Not the screaming part, but he's kicking his legs. He's like, no, you can't take me. But eventually he got him. And he tapped. And that was so crazy. And that was another flashy, fast finish for Chicago's own Terrence McKinney. Let's go, Cook County. Let's go, Cook County. Okay, that's his 16th 1/6 round 1 finish. Let's go. So Terrence McKinney got that one, and, you know, all love to Slava Claus. All love to Slava Claus. That was a quickie. Then we had our only women's bout of the night, Viviane Araújo versus Tracy Cortez. Some flyweight action. This was really great because it's been a long time since we saw Tracy having to deal with some injuries. That is unfortunate, but she is back, and she was back with a bang. Okay, she really made this fight her fight. So, you know, the thing about Vivian is that she's well-rounded martial artist. She's competed in, you know, not just her home base of BJJ, which she has a black belt, but she's done judo. She's competed in Muay Thai, so, you know, super well-rounded. But grappling is, you know, that's her wheelhouse. That's where she's the most comfortable. And it seems like when Tracy goes for the takedown and then it's quickly kind of switched up on her, and then Vivian is controlling her on the back, that's like, oh no, you know, maybe Vivian has the grappling advantage, but Tracy switches it again. She switches it. She's got that fire in her heart, along with a very, very cool, cute hairdo. Her hair was like braided into hearts. Love that. That was so her. Anyway, yes, it was very exciting on the ground. It was looking very scary. Tracy definitely looking for the sub, trying to work in a little bit of like guillotine action at the end there. The crowd was cheering. The crowd was loving it. Okay, this one was high-paced already in that first round. Yes, but, you know, as Vivian is in that, about to get choked, well, getting choked, she's just waiting it out, okay? She's got that black belt experience. Gotta stay P, you know, don't tap, just chill. Gotta ride it out. Only a couple seconds left. And then round 2, you know, DC is wisely predicting the level change from Tracy. And both fighters are picking their shots carefully, okay? Picking them carefully. Tracy really hunting kind of like a snake in the grass. It's great. Very choosy with her shots. And she gets the takedown when she's ready, when it's there. Gets the moment. Gets it done. It's all control. And then in round 3, it's pretty clear that Vivian has to get the finish if this fight is going to go her way, because the first 2 rounds, it was Tracy's world. It was Tracy's world 1-on-1, and DC says something pretty wise. He goes, she's got to take the risk even if she gets taken down, right? It's got to go for that sub, got to go for something. And Tracy is on top again. Okay, she is all control yet again. So that was a really strong unanimous decision win for Tracy Cortez. Let's go, girl. She controlled that fight, made it hers, couldn't get the finish, but she's a decision grind type person. She really outdoes her opponents through the output. So, love to see that. And Vivian is no scrub. So, definitely tired her in there. And what a great comeback for Tracy after not seeing her for a bit. Then we had, okay, so Alvin Hines had an undefeated record going into this. That was, you know, he handed his first loss, which is just a beautiful moment of growth. Okay, can't be undefeated forever. Unless you can, I don't know. Anyway, Hyder Emil was coming into his fight versus Jose Delgado, undefeated as well. Bantamweights, all right. And he was handed his first loss. Round 1 was pretty there and, you know, there and then it was gone. Okay, it was a flash. It was a flash. It was a firework. It was there. It was over. We don't even get going. Okay, we throw caution to the wind. Jose Delgado just hits big, because the thing is that while caution was, you know, thrown to the wind on both sides, the technique of Delgado still was maintained. So he still, you know, had his guard and was, you know, putting together combinations with technique. Sometimes the technique, it kind of gets lost a little with Hyder Emil, and it's just dog. You know, like he's just dogging it. And yeah, he got hit pretty big, and then he just goes right down. Because the thing is that knee, okay? That knee is hard to see. That's why it rhymes. The knee can be hard to see. And Delgado got him with a nasty knee, a very choosy, very, you know, it was a really smart shot. The human eye, the normal human eyes, we simply cannot see those things. But when you slow it down, you can really see, wow, what a great choice for that knee. Got him. KO. Round 1. Delgado. It was chaos. It was insanity. Jose showed his technical mind in there. He says he surrenders to the process. I believe that. We got a panel. We got a panel of people who we know and love, right? Brendan, Chael, Anthony with 2 buttons down. Okay, I see you. And Dominic Cruz. You know, Chael was, of course, yelling and screaming, unnecessarily so, right? Because the microphone is very close to his mouth. Yeah. Then we had our featured prelim, and this a little bit of a heartbreak. I gotta admit, a little bit of a heartbreak. Jack Hermansson versus Gregory Rodriguez, middleweight, RoboCop. We haven't seen Jack in a really long time. Was really happy to see him make the return. So round 1, RoboCop is definitely very forward pressure. He likes to strike, looking to rein it in a little bit more because he gets provoked into chaos quite easily, for better or for worse. And Jack is responding very well. Blood's dripping from Robo's forehead, getting pieced up a little bit, but Gregory is locked in. You can tell that he's like on the edge of his seat. Well, his feet. He's standing. He's on the edge of his feet, waiting for his opportunity to explode, specifically, that he wants to explode. And, the opportunity did arrive. It did. And he got Jack with a really, really nasty left hook, and he was down for the count. Okay, he smacked that mat, and the really unfortunate part is, Herb did everything he could, okay? Herb was running in, trying to get Gregory to not do any more damage there, but he landed a couple more shots on his very, very unconscious body, which we don't like to see that. We had to run the ad, because he's not awake yet. Just a tough moment. I really wishing Jack a very full and speedy recovery. Gregory, we did not need to throw those last 2. Okay, so another round 1 KO. Is that 3? Well, it's 3 finishes, 2 in round 1. International Fight Week, UFC 317. UFC 317 delivering, okay? Those prelims were insane. Then we had our main card. And oh wow, did that deliver as well. First fight was Felipe Lima versus Peyton Talbot, bantamweight. And Peyton Talbot coming in with all eyes on him. So much pressure because so many people are really hype about him, and then that gets a bunch of other people to want to be like, oh, he's a fraud. Please, people, be nice and be realistic. Nobody in the UFC is a fraud. Okay, you get in there. Okay, no one's a fraud, but Peyton really showed out, and Diego Lima is no easy task, having not lost since 2015 and just a very, 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 very vicious record and a completely unconventional style to deal with as well. And what an unconventional fight. That fight was crazy. That fight was all over the place. But you know what Peyton did? Is he showed improvements specifically in the holes that were displayed in his previous performance. Okay, Raoni Barcelos just held him on the ground, suffocated him completely, just all 3 rounds, and it felt like Peyton did not have anything to offer. This time, Diego Lima tried to get Peyton on the ground, and every single time, Peyton was very fresh to get back up or to do his own action on the ground as well. Okay, he absolutely did not repeat last fight's story. So incredible. He was really enjoying himself in there. You could see it, and he was completely smiling by the end, both because I feel like he felt that he was going to get the win, but it was close. It was a 29-28 all around, so he was smiling because he loves it in there. Okay? It was incredible. It was looking like it was one of the fights of the night that was looking 1-1 heading into that 3rd round, okay? And it was beautiful. In the 3rd round, it was like Diego was on the run a bit, but he's unconventional. He's always kind of bouncing around all crazy like in that. But every time that tried to score a takedown, Payne was just up. But it was so wacky on the ground, the way that he was getting himself up. We had in this unanimous decision win for Peyton Talbot, he made the exact statement that he needed to bounce back, okay, from a loss that unreasonably had a lot of people doubting him. He's definitely a very special young man with a very, very bright future. He says, I learn while I'm fighting. I love to see that. He says a lot of really cool things. Feel he's a very philosophical person, and he's got a lot of heart, and he had a lot of fun in there. And that's what you got to do, right? You got to have fun in there. Then we had Beneil Dariush versus Rinado Moicano, a fight that was, scrapped, and then so thankfully we got it rebooked. We haven't seen Dariush since 2023, December though, but a while. So we were excited. We were excited to get Dariush back in the game. And this fight was exactly as predicted. It was very frightening. It was very technical, very scary. It's the type of fight where you see things you're like, that doesn't really happen in the streets. Round one, we're hand tagging, petting. It's high fives 101. Of course, the danger is there because they're studying each other. Beneil landing a couple of nasty low kicks. One of them really gets Moicano, drops him for a little bit. But then, Money Moicano gets his own drop on Dariush towards the end of the round. He starts trying to crawl on him like a spider on a log. But the thing is that in this scenario where Beneil is the log, he's more like the log in Evil Dead. Like he's not any log. So anyway, that round ends. But you could see they were studying each other, seeing where it's at. Round two, a little bit higher pace from Beneil Dariush. He's got this kind of, I feel, very calculated 3-round strategy. Like he's always ready to go to decision, and I love the adjustments that he makes every round because the finish is something that he's always ready for, but he's just looking to really actually win every single round. That's what he's after. Not just getting the finish at some point, winning every round. Okay, so Beneil comes out, high pace, whoa, it's trade, it's exchange, it's everything, okay? We really got to see just so much. It was so high-paced, so much grappling. We're against the fence, we're trading, we're exchanging, and Beneil is pushing Moicano. It's very clinchy, it's very everything. I love it. And Beneil with another takedown, and he hangs on top. That was definitely the bounce back round for Benny. So, Moicano dropped him in the last round, so looked like maybe that kind of put the round in Rinado's favor, right? So we're going to round 3, 1-1. Beneil Dariush is like, okay, looking like we gotta up the aggression a little bit more. That's exactly what he does, right? And he's never lost a decision. And he didn't lose this one either. Yes, okay, he's happy to get to the grappling again, but Money's exploding up. Money doesn't want to be on the ground at that point, and Beneil is looking then to be legless, right? Kick. Keep it up. Keep it up, Beneil. He's keeping up the kicks, and Money's looking muddy. Money is looking muddy and tired. He's looking a little sleepish. It's been a very high energy fight. A lot of energy expended, especially in those grappling exchanges. Beneil Dariush turned it up on the aggression, and he did more, as expected, a very high-level match, just an absolute grind, right? Absolute grind. Beneil has yet to lose the decision, so he got that unanimous decision win. Okay, queen. Then we had history, okay? Our first moment of history of a handful, okay? Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van, this flyweight, number 1 contender versus number 12, who was, not ranked at all until recently. Joshua Van stepping in on short notice, having just fought at the last pay-per-view. Excuse me, sweetie. He is crazy. Okay, this was such a beautiful fight. This fight was everything, okay? This fight was everything. Royval was, really looking to hold the line there, throwing a lot, but not too much of it was landing in that round 1, but it was round 1, like, right away. It felt like the round started before it started. Josh keeping it very calculated, though, okay? Brandon keeping up the pace, trying to throw confusion jabs, just trying to keep Josh out, using his length to get him out of there. But Josh is able to counter. He sees right through it, and the thing about him is his nickname is Fearless, and that's exactly how he performs. There is no fear in his eyes. I don't know if you could get him to flinch, like if you surprised him. Boo! Like, I don't think he would. Anyway. So, round 2, again, staying active and mixing on both sides. It's getting a little crazy. It's getting a little too fast for the eye to see. It's beauty. It's grace, okay? It's like the light of the sun. Everything is happening. Let's go violence. It's a beautiful, striking exchange. There are so many shots being thrown, almost entirely boxing. We get a couple of kicks here and there. It's toe-to-toe, right? It's Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje. It's looking so crazy. And you're thinking to yourself, as round 2 ends, you're like, how is there another round? It's blood, it's violence, and both men are still alive. They're both still alive. And round 3, Okay? It's crazy that we made it here. It's close. It's competitive. It's everything. Everything you could ever want, right? What a fight. What a fight. Okay? What a fight. What a fight. That's what you were saying. That's what you were saying. It's on the feet all day. Just bam, 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 bam. And we set records. We set flyweight records. And just to make things all the more exciting, with seconds to go, Joshua Van lands a big one and he knocks Brandon Royval down. He survives. There's only seconds to go in the fight. He survives, but he knows when the bell rings that might have cost him the fight. And I think that is perhaps what did. Okay? It was pretty close. It was pretty close. It was incredible. What a show! Such an inspiring performance that left the crowd screaming. The crowd was on their feet. They were screaming. And it was record-setting. Record-setting flyweight affair. A perfect battle to set up the fight that comes after it. Then we made it to our co-main event. Right? Flyweight to flyweight. Champ Alessandre Pantosia versus Kai Kara-France. Pantosia for his 4th title defense. Batty yaddy yaddy. Okay? Batty yaddy yaddy. Yes. And yeah, it was his world. It was his world immediately. Immediately. He has Kai down on the ground and he is body triangling him. It's like, oh my gosh. Kai is looking to scramble and Pantosia takes advantage of that as well. And he's on top of him. Okay? So he's on his back, then he's on top of him. Haha, you're not going to get away. Spider on a log. It's classic Alessandre. It's all control, suffocating Kai on the ground. It's survival for Kai. That's all he can do in that round is survive. And he did. We get to round 2 and it's a little bit more strikey. You know, Pantosia is definitely ahead there too. Just bulldozing Kai. Like he just runs at you. It's amazing. I love what he does. He just runs right at you. It's like, you know, he just doesn't care. Like what you're, you know, where you're going to go, he's going to get you. Running him down. He does slow a little bit towards the end of that round, Pantosia, but, you know, maybe it's all part of the game plan. Planning for 5 rounds, right? Okay? And round 3, another sprinting start, though, right? You think he slows down and then he does the exact same thing. He just runs him down. It's literally like he does not care what Kai's game plan is. He's just going to do his. He's like, I have my game plan. Welcome to my world. And oh boy. Okay, so he runs him down, gets him to the ground, and it's like the choke is just, it just appears. You look, he's getting choked. The rear naked choke just seems to find Pantosia. He's a choker, okay? So he gets the rear naked choke. Round 3 over Kara-France. You know, Kai's fighting. He's like, no, please. And I'm thinking to myself, as he's getting choked out, I'm like, I think he might. I'm not sure he's gonna tap, but he wisely does. Good riddance. Okay, please tap. Please. Don't go out on your sword. Okay, so he tapped. And, you know, right, so one thing we know about Pantosia is that he's a choker, and this is his 9th rear naked choke. He is so amazing. He's everything. I was so inspired. Absolutely bulldozing, okay? He bulldozed him. He came in and he said, not today, and perhaps not ever. Perhaps not ever, perhaps no one. And then we got to see Joshua Van, just so excited. He's so excited. He's waiting there in the front row, like, you know, and they give him the face off, and it's very respectful. It's very respectful, and that is so exciting, actually. That fight, you know, is gonna break my heart because I can't live with either outcome. Okay, that's very extreme. I think that is gonna be so incredible because Joshua Van it really feels like he has changed the division in a deep way. His success has just been, I'm truly thankful for it, okay? I'm thankful for the way that this is writing the narrative going forward. This is incredible, and I cannot wait to see that fight, okay? Joshua Van versus Alessandre Pantosia. Joshua Van and Brandon Royval's performance was potentially fight of the year. Okay, I might still be only 12 hours removed, okay? So still riding the high, but that was such an incredible performance, and I am all Josh Van. I think that he 100% deserves a shot at the belt. So the face-off, hey, right? Pretty set in stone. What a fabulous finish for Pantosia, okay? What a fabulous finish for Pantosia. And the flyweight fights back-to-back like that? Yes! Okay, it felt drama, but it was real. It's reality. Reality is drama. Okay, then we had our main event. Oh my gosh. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight belt. How many times are they going to make Charles do that? Okay. Ilia has been fortune telling. He's been telling the future in a way that is making us scared. It's making us question our reality, making us question whether or not, he's talking to some sort of higher power. No. He's unlocked his chat GTP. Please, let's not get started with that. Okay. This fight was quick. Okay? It's exactly what Ilia predicted. Round 1 KO. Round 1 KO. We got going quick. We were on the ground at first. Charles looking to keep it there, obviously, right? He's very dangerous on his back. He likes to trick you into doing stupid things. But Ilia is very, very confident. Or, of course, competent is what I meant to say. He's got ground skills. That's his base. BJJ black belt as well. So, looking pretty even there. And Charles is, so Ilia's like, I want to stand up. Enough of this. But Charles is laying there, how he does, arms behind his head, like come get me. Goddard says, stand it up. And once we stand it, it doesn't take long for the shock wave to hit. Okay? And the shock wave hits big. Bam. Bam, bam. Turkey slam. Okay? Ilia knocks Charles out cold. And he goes splat to the mat. Splat to the mat. Round 1, just as he predicted. I'm scared. Okay. He said he was going to knock out Charles in the first round. It's exactly what happened. Double champ status, and he is the first ever double champ to be undefeated. To get that status undefeated. That is very crazy. Okay, that's really crazy. And of course, he has entered and elevated this sport truly to now we have somebody who we're booing, not because he's the bad guy, but because he's taken out that many people that we love. Okay? That is incredible. So inspiring. That was a shocker. I was shocked. I was actually shocked. I know that sometimes his chin can get the better of him, but he does not get done like that, okay? As Joe and DC were marveling, he does not get done like that. So hats off. Hats off to Ilia Topuria. Holy smoke. And then we get another face-off, but this one is not so cute and friendly. Paddy Pimblett comes marching in. Fatty Pimblett is looking huge. He is looking huge. Not saying he looks bad, but he's looking big. He is looking big. And Ilia did look quite small compared to Charles. Yeah. So, are we going to get that fight next? We got the face-off. I would really like that fight. That's kind of a dream fight for me. I want to see Paddy Pimblett versus Ilia Topuria. Please. I got pretty excited for that. And then, Ilia gives him a little show. They have to change audio. There's so much cussing, there's so much swearing, there's so much bleep, 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 you and you bleep, bleep, that they have to change the audio. They, cut from the audio of the microphone between them, and they cut to, the crowd's audio. It's a mess. Okay, it's a nightmare. It's a production nightmare. And then Ilia shoves Paddy. I hate you. I hate you. It's essentially the opposite of the previous face-off. And that is how we end the night. We end the night with drama. With so much drama. And we know exactly where to go next. I'm just so excited. I can't wait. Can we book those on the same card again? Yeah. That was such a beautiful and inspiring night. Let me know what your favorite fight was, right? That's tough. I think that fight of the night has to go to Brandon Royval and Joshua Van, though, okay? Okay. Because they put it on until the very end, until it was over. What a beautiful, beautiful night. We're going to remember that. We're going to remember this one. So, yeah, let me know. And you know what? We got to keep the same song. So we had this song, Nights Like These, by Drain. Please check out the music video. Okay, please check out the music video. We had this as our song of the week. Yeah, it's the song of last night as well. Okay, because Nights Like These, Yeah, watch the video and you'll know what I'm saying. Watch that music video, okay? And then think, reflect. Watch it and then reflect about UFC 317. It's going to make a lot of sense. Okay. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tagging along. What a great time. That's all I got. Peace out.